LB Bruins here again, going over my 1967 Charger with a 383 4-barrel package. I purchased this car about also 1988. I paid about $3,000 for it, or actually it was like $2,800 for it. And as you can see, the car has a lot of straight sheet metal. It never got hit. Anything that was rusty basically wasn't rusty. It was all just weathering. And the car had roughly another 100,000 mile car. The young man who owned it wanted to throw a 426 Hemi into it, and I guess he just lost interest in the project, but I managed to save this car. It's kind of funny, the car had a lot of options, but none of them worked. As the one guy that tried to buy it from me, I guess a year and a half later, told me. Here you can see my patching up and kind of trying out different versions of the color. The car just had a lot of thin paint. And this was, 67 was the first year that Chrysler decided to back off how many coats of paint they were putting on a car. A little bit of extra money in the corporate pocket. And you can see that the rustiest part of this car was really the back bumper. And the car had a towing package along with it. I was kind of surprised. I almost went to take it off and found out that it was quite secure on the car, and I just left it there. But none of the items worked, and I was going to just paint this car, and I did it in a day. I went ahead and sanded down and hit it with sealer, and I hit it with 2 coats of that copper color that it was, and it came out just fantastic. I did it over at a friend's house. So I think the biggest thing about this car was it had a good solid drivetrain, but it had a nightmare for a speedometer. The speedometer exploded on me, and that kicked off the electrolucent lighting, and the needle on the tachometer wouldn't light up, neither would the speedometer. So driving at night was kind of a challenge. You didn't want to drive too fast, which kind of took all the fun out of it, didn't it? The car came with power windows, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, and a radio. Notice, though, it had an automatic on the column. It did not have one of the consoles, and the console automatic. So that was kind of an unusual combination for the car. It had a split front seat, bench seat. It was actually a very comfortable car to drive. There you can see the famous kind of, I don't know, jet style back seat. And there's the stock 383 4-barrel. It did have an electronic ignition on it. The guy put it on there, and I just disconnected it. I had not removed it at the time, and then I took the pictures. But I sent this car right back to points and condenser, and it ran better than it did on the electronic ignition. I don't know why, and I never put it back, but for me, that's all I needed. I went right back to points and condenser, and she just sang like a bird all the time. It was a very good car. As I said, it drove nice. It had a towing package. It had a 323 Suregrip differential, and it would chirp second gear, just booting on down the road from low. It wasn't a problem. And the nice thing about it is it never got stuck in the snow. I drove it a couple of times in the snow. I know people are cringing when they hear that, but oh well. Hey, it was a driver, and it was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful car, and I love them. I think these are really a classic. I mean, I love the 68. Don't get me wrong, but these are also beautiful cars, and I thought the styling was just right on the button. And they handled well, too. It was a good handling car. Well, that's it on this. One more picture there. Of course, that's the Frozen Dairy Bar in Falls Church, Virginia. It is no longer there. They took it down for a shopping center. So, thanks. I hope you like and subscribe and comment. Go ahead, please comment. LB Bruins. Till next time.